Good. So, okay, let's start once again. So let's start with the shoulder rotations, inhaling and exhaling. And I heard a story this week about a Hindu story about a goddess named Durga, and is she is sought out by the other gods. So we're still inhaling as the shoulders come up and exhale around and back. She's sought out by all the other gods because they need her to meet with a demon, a buffalo demon. It's Halloween. I thought it would be a good moment for a buffalo demon. So all the other gods have tried and not succeeded at defeating this demon. And sometimes, someone will be able to confront that demon, but then the demon, after you cut off its head, it's Halloween, so bear with me. After you do that, it grows another head. And so this goddess Durga, she has all the tools from all the gods. So Arjuna's bow and arrow, they all give her their very best tools, and she goes and trains in the mountains. And then when she's done training, she comes down riding a tiger. Let's change directions with the shoulders. She's riding a tiger, and in order to stay on the tiger, she has to be very organized and strong in her core, and at the same time not be rigid. So I thought that would be a nice theme in our practice today as we move, that there's this strength and integrity, but not a gripping, because when you ride a tiger, it might be, if you've ever ridden a horse, you have to sort of move with the creature and be part of that movement. Yeah. So that's sort of an interesting piece. And then Durga, of course, she goes and she succeeds at doing what her call is to this buffalo demon. But the piece that I love, and we're still rolling the shoulders in second direction, and you can change direction whenever you like. Yes. Is that piece of riding the tiger. And if you put a quarter in the machine, when you were a kid and ride that mechanical horse, is much different than getting on a real horse. And just taking an exhale and let the shoulders come down and stay nice and low and relaxed. That real horse, you move with it. And so that's what we'll do. We have that organized core today, and also staying just very nice and supple at the same time that you're strong. Yeah? So we'll ride our tigers today. So good. Let's take our shoulder shake and Bhastrika. And so you just jiggle this, you just take the shoulders up and down and dog pant through the nose. Shoulders come down as you exhale. And just in case anyone needs or wants a refresher course, it's like this. It's just that dog pant, bellows breath through the nose, and it helps reduce and release tension we don't need. Very nice. Let the breath go. Take a pause from that. Good. And we'll take that shoulder shrug. So let's let the shoulders come up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. And when they get a little achy, you slowly let the water out of the fish tank. Let the shoulders come down at that rate, that pace. Inhale, shoulders come up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good for the immunity, this one. Nice time of year for that. and they get a little achy, you slowly let it down before you get tired of it so that you'll feel like doing it again down the way. Good. And if an audible sigh or a yawn comes up, you just let it happen. Inhale, shoulders come up. Good. Squeeze. Nice until you're ready. And then on an audible sigh, let it all out at once. And let it go. Yes. Good. Let's take the arms and we'll do our tassel twist. Let the arms tap the body. So good. This has pressure points around the kidney area and the back. It's supposed to be good for us. Letting the hands tap the body. Good. And you start small, and then as the back starts to warm and loosen, you can let it get bigger or not. It doesn't matter. Good, and then when you feel complete with that, you let the body rock you to a stop. And breathe in and out. Very nice. Good. Let's take the wide-legged stance, sort of like riding a horse, which we were just talking about. We can ride our tiger here. Yes, and then I'm going to take the hands, palms to the side, and draw the hand across the chest, the arms, and open wide the arms. I'll take off my jacket. I think we can see better that way. Okay, so we've opened arms wide. And then second side, draw the palms together and tracing the arm and the clavicles, the collarbone in, open wide. Yes, feel the strength in your thighs. Beautiful. Take it to the first side again. Palms together and trace that inner arm and the chest, and you open that generous gesture. And yoga is very much about gesture. Even just saying hi is a very powerful gesture. You can see that from a distance, and we know that it's something warm. Draw the two palms together, second side. Trace. Yeah, and then open that. Good. And then we let that go. We can let the legs come long again and balance them under the hips. And let's just roll the wrists. Warming up the wrists. Yeah. Good. And other direction with the wrists. Good. Lots of nice pressure points there. Good, and then just wiggle it out. Very nice. Well, happy almost time change, everyone. We're going to be falling back, I think, this weekend. So get your naps in, get your siestas in. Let's take our arms just up. Inhale, breathe in. Pause at the top. So the hands are kind of like that. I'm trying to get into my frame here. And then ease the hands down your center, slowly on the exhale. Centering breath. Inhale, hands come up. Pause with the hands. Exhaling, they come down through center. Very nice. Good, and since it's been a little cooler this morning anyway, let's stir our pots. So you stir your pots, you have sort of relaxed fists, and you just stir and stir. And what you do is as the fists pass the hips, you do that Bhastrika breath through the nose. So dog pant through the nose, you exhale there at the hips. And the inhale just sort of happens. So if you can hear better here, it's like this. And you do that a few rounds. This is a warming pose, a warming series. And so if you're cool, it can help you warm up in the morning, or if you're on a hike. And that's for you, Kent, if you're on a hike. Inhale and exhale the other direction toward the hips. So we're doing circles, whatever direction you've not done yet. Good. And you can let that go. My teacher learned that from someone at the top of a mountain. She used to be one of the first aid folks on a ski slope in Tahoe, and she learned that from one of the really veteran workers there, as far as keeping warm in Tahoe. Is they would do that when they were waiting for the next call. So that one works. That one's test driven. Okay, so let's take the hands to the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down the thighs like just runners, and just rest the palms onto the thigh bone and take that letter L. Yeah, long spine, reach through the breastbone and the tailbone at the same time. I have a new appreciation for people in Hollywood who handle the lights and the sound in the video. I think they deserve every penny they get. You'd be surprised. So nice to actually have a two-way conversation with you all now. Good. So we're not leaning on the knees, we're leaning on the thighs. Protect the knee joints. Good, and then we keep those knees a little bent and roll up gently, gently. Good. Inhale, exhale there. And let's take it one more time. Hands come to the tops of the thighs. And exhaling, they come down the thighs, and you're like an umpire there. Good. And lengthen, keep that spine nice and spacious here. Breathe into the spaces between the vertebrae. And again, reach through the crown of the head, out the tailbone, simultaneously or alternately. Good. Very nice. And then as you're ready, you micro bend the knees, roll slowly up. Yeah, good. So I'd like to take the hands, I'm going to clasp the hands at the webbing and just press them out in front of me. This is nice if you're on the computer a bit. Press them out and then draw them back to the chest. And press. Palms out toward the wall in front of you. Good. And draw it back to the chest. Yeah. Press one more time. And coming back toward the chest. It's so nourishing to just move the body, get back to our yoga a little bit. And some of you are doing the home version of the game, and that's fabulous too. Let's take I'm going to take my 3 fingers and place them so that the middle finger is right in front of the flap of the ear, the front flap. And the 2 other fingers flank that middle finger, and you just naturally land on pressure points. Notice how that feels. You just breathe and gently hold those points. Breathing. And notice how it makes you feel. Something you can do at your desk, so easy if you're in the middle of your day. Yes, good. And then you just release that. Great. So I'll just come back to the mat. And this time I'm going to take this sort of gesture where you it's that sort of Egyptian stereotype little glyph silhouette here. And then we switch. So you sort of swim through that shape and you just got to kind of find it. And look over your hand and imagine your intention. And look over the other one, same thing. Yeah, we just get a little coordination, a little cross the body movement here. Good for the brain. A couple times more if you want, or just come to a finish when you're ready. Yes, and then come to center, very nice. I want to take the hands up in a swoop, inhale. Exhale, the hands come down behind and clasp. I'm so excited to see you all. It's like a miracle. Good. Extend the arms. I went by the studio, the dance studio the other day and said hi to people there. They're at the desk there, but no one else is there. Inhale, lift the chest. Even seeing people at the desk, I miss stuff like that, just the little things. Inhale, feeds our spirits a little bit when you say hi and get a smile. And forward fold just any amount. Yes. So we're just coming forward. Yeah. Let the hands release and relax on the back, still clasped. And breathe into this shape. Good. Excellent. And reassert that tension in the arms. Bend the knees slightly. Come on up. Yeah. And release the hands. Just let that go for a sec. So that's a nice chest opener. Chest openers help uplift the mood. So it's nice to explore that. Let's take it one more time. Hands come up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale. You come down and around with the hands and clasp. Inhale, extend the arms, knuckles toward the floor. Very good. Inhale, lift the chest like you're the figurehead of a ship, just gazing gently, softly at the place where the wall and the ceiling meet. Open chest. Very nice. Good. And inhale there. Exhaling, you fold at the thigh crease any amount. Still keeping the tension in the arms for a sec. You could keep them that way if you like it. Or you can release and rest the hands on the back as you just sort of relax that tension in the arms and you breathe into wherever you land. If you're somewhere up here or down somewhere else, it doesn't matter. Wherever you feel like it's an interesting stretch and very sustainable. Yes. And if anything hurts or feels twingy, just stop. Just don't do it. Find something else. Good. Pressing the feet into the planet. Reassert the tension in the arms. Helps you float on up. Good. Release the hands. Let it go. Take maybe a few hip rotations just to erase the chalkboard. Inhaling as the hips come forward. And exhale around and back. Good. And change directions when you're ready. Still inhale as the hips are forward. Exhaling around and back. And always, as the same as when I have a face-to-face class, if you want to come to class and lay on the floor for half an hour, that's your yoga. That's what my teacher used to say, and I like to pass that along. And I won't mind it all. And if that's what your body needs, that's what it needs. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, around and back. Sometimes we need a little structure and permission to let ourselves lay on the floor, if you will. Yeah. So let's wiggle it out. Wiggle out the wrists. Yeah. Very nice. And let's take just a quick, I just wanted to do this, I think once, just very briefly with our eagle arms. This is a crossing. I'm going to cross the right elbow over the left elbow, backs of the hands together or palms together. Or you could even, I like to show this. So it's either back of the hands together or angel fish hands. Yeah. Or I have a shoulder that hurts. So sometimes I like to just hold my forearm with the other arm. And I like to show that because we want to be gentle with our body. Yes. Okay. So we're doing this cross with the arms. Inhale. And exhale. Feel that echo space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the elbows up a little bit. Exhale, draw the hands away from your face. And that might be plenty. It feels really good to me. And again, if you want, just if you want, it's an option. You can fold at the thigh crease any amount and get a little extra something somewhere. And breathe into wherever you feel it. We can tend to hold a fair bit of tension in the upper back and the low back, and this sort of addresses both of them in this nice, elegant pose. Breathing there. Nice. Good job, and yes, and then we unfurl the arms, let them uncurl, and you come back up to standing. Nice. This time, left elbow comes on top. Find your hand position. Whatever is right for this side of the body might be different than the other side. We don't try to make each side the same. You just listen to the body. Inhale, the elbows rise. And exhale, draw the hands away from you. Create space between the shoulder blades and you breathe into that. So good. If you're doing too much here, ask yourself why. Breathing in and out. Good. And if you wish, just folding any amount at the thigh crease and letting the arms come along for the ride. Breathe into wherever you feel it. Inhaling, exhaling. Working that breath into the low back and the upper back. So nice. Good. You uncurl from that and rise to standing. Good. Let's roll the shoulders. Sometimes your body will just be inspired to do something in the middle of the pose after you're done. And mine just told me to do some shoulder rolls, to do something easy and familiar. The body likes that after you do some work. Inhaling up, exhale around and down. Yeah, good. And inhaling, shoulders up. Other direction, around and down. And it's so nice to come together in a class because sometimes, maybe you're better at it than I am, but it can sometimes take a lot more discipline to carve out time for yourself to do the yoga than rather than if we show up to a class, we're a little bit holding each other in that space and Giving ourselves room to carve out that moment to rest. Inhaling up. Exhale around and down. Yes, good. Let the shoulders come down when you're ready. May not be the very next one. And let the shoulders come down and stay nice and low and relaxed. That can actually be a mantra. You can just say, as the shoulders come up, you inhale, and then on the exhale, you can just say, relax, or anything that comes to mind. You can create something. I had a dance class this morning in Zoom in Berkeley, and the teacher said her dance instructor in New York would say, I'm not creating, I'm inventing, which I thought was a lovely artist comment. So we're inventing and our yoga as we go. We're always listening to our own bodies. Yeah. Good. Let's come down into that squatting position for our transition, if it works for your knees. If it's not great for your knees, what you can do is just come to a comfortable seat. Okay? Can you see? Okay. So we're here with the arms in the center, palms to the floor, and I'm just going to breathe into the belly here. I'm on the balls of my feet. Breathing that nice nourishing breath into the belly. Good, and then I'm going to do that dog pant through the nose. The Bhastrika breath. Feel how that's so nourishing for the low back, and then just inhale, exhale there. Just normal breathing. And Candace talked with me about how rather than a trapeze for the breath, you can imagine a swing, which we have all enjoyed at some point, many of us anyway. Probably many more of us than have been on a trapeze lately. So that means that every time you swing, when you come to the upswing, you pause. It's like this little breath of just a pause, and it's soft and round, and then it comes back up and back, and it pauses, does the same thing, and it's a roundedness in the breath. Yes, so we're there, not striving, and just letting it be nourishing. Swinging on the swing, back and forth. Yeah, very nice. One more time with that Bhastrika breath. Good, let it go. And just breathe into the belly. Practice your swing. Good. Very nice. And then let's come to a seat. And we'll just take a few jiggles and Bhastrika here. And I'm going to see if I can put this blanket on my mat to see if that helps you see me a little better. There we go. Yes. So let's take our inhale here. I'm going to move my camera. Give me a moment. You can start your circles if you're already familiar with how we do that. Good. So nice. Taking our legs nice and long. Inhale. Exhale around and forward. We're on the floor. Isn't it so nice? It's nice to hang out with some like-minded people who like to just, take a load off and sit on the floor. Inhaling up, exhale around the horizon. And your circles might be a different size. Your knees might be like this. You might like to sit on a bolster or a blanket to keep your spine long. So take care of yourself. There's a gentleman in our class who sits on a meditation cushion even, which is quite a lot of height. So take care of how it feels good to sit on the floor for your body. Yeah, inhale up. Sitting on top of something helps the spine be long instead of feeling like it's too rounded, and it's safe and nice for the back. Inhale, you come up. Exhale around. Make it delicious. This is like that mortar and pestle where you're sort of, got that smooth marble. Just your torso is that piece that is stirring. Good. Inhale as you come to the center. And you exhale other direction. Yeah, inhaling up, exhale around the horizon. So if I take requests too, if you ever want to tell me at the beginning of class if there's something you'd especially like to do. I cook to order, so just let me know. Today we're doing our low back. Yeah, good. Taking maybe one more round, inhaling up, exhale around. And inhaling up. Good. Draw one knee in. Leave the other extended. Sole of the foot toward the thigh and inhale here. This is our traditional favorite. Inhale, exhale over the bent knee. And exhale around. Good, yeah. Nice yoking together of the breath and the movement. The word yoga means to yoke together. It's the yoking together of the body and the breath. Of the body and the spirit. Good, inhaling and exhaling. Good, yeah, come to center, inhale, let's switch sides, draw the straight leg in, other leg out, inhale, center, exhale, over the bent knee and around. Just this, if this is all you have time for in the day, I mean, wow, this one really gets into the low back in a gentle way. So my teacher would call yoga that it's like drip therapy. You do a little bit at a time gently, and it'll do so much. So it's like drip therapy rather than throwing a bucket of water onto yourself. Yeah. Exhaling around, inhaling up. And noticing that as you flirt with your limits, that you can kind of hover there a little bit, and you do it mindfully. And then come on up. Good. Nice, very nice. Very good, good. Let's take the legs both of them extended out. I'm gonna lean back as if I'm at the beach, just kind of hanging out. Hands are behind me. Yeah, so it looks like this. Leaning back on my hands. Maybe I'll stay there. Good. And you just let the chin ease down toward the chest. Let's take the oscillating sprinklers to celebrate the daylight savings we can relish for a few more days. those summer sprinklers. My teacher called this the oscillating sprinkler because it helps you remember, and it's easy, yeah, to remember. Inhale, draw the chest up toward the sunshine. Make sure your glasses have a place to go. Inhale. Oh yeah, looking up slightly. Keep the neck nice and long and protected. Gorgeous. Draw that rounded back again. Just lean back on the beach, chin to chest. Nice and supple in the spine here. Good. Inhale, chest toward the sky. Good. Open chest. Once again, we talked about it earlier in class. Uplifting the mood as we open the chest. And exhale, relax back on the beach. Chin toward the collarbones. And breathe. Does anyone still have those oscillating sprinklers? I used to run through, that was the sprinkler of choice to run through when I was a kid. That was before everyone had timers and things on their watering systems. You just walk out and throw it in the middle of the lawn at a dry patch, right? So that's what we're channeling. Good. And this time, let's inhale, and I draw the torso up and the hands up. Yeah. Good. Exhaling, you just drift forward and land wherever you land. And you breathe there. Very nice. And if you need to back up a little, you back up. If you get bored where you are, you go slightly forward additionally. In the beginning, you just land where you land and you breathe into it, inhaling and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. And let's inhale, hands up to the sky. Reach. And then they come down, swoop behind you, and back to the starting position, chin to the chest, around the back, relax. And the hands are fairly close to your bum so that you feel supported. Good. Lift the chest, inhale. Gaze toward the ceiling, just gently enough so that you keep your neck long, the cervical spine nice and protected as you keep the neck long. Look up a little. Good. And relax back to the first position. Exhale. Yeah, inhale, draw hands to the ceiling. Exhale, float forward. And breathe wherever you feel it. Good. Yeah. Inhale, hands up. Let's take it one more time. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale. First position, as they say in dance class. But we're just going to rest on the beach for ours. And breathe into wherever that speaks to you. Inhale, lift the chest. Look and gaze up gently. Yeah, yummy. Let yourself come back to that first position. Chin to the chest, toward the collarbones. We're getting a little Mula Bandha there for anyone who's done yoga a little bit before. We're getting there's a Jalandhara Bandha where you put the chin toward the chest and it helps conserve and build your energy. So we're sneaking a lot of really old classical style yoga elements into these poses that seem so simple, but a lot of amazing, luscious things are happening during it. Inhale, you come up. Arms to the sky, fingertips to the sky. And exhale, float forward. Good, and you inhale yourself up. And you let the arms float down and stay center and just let that go. Breathe in and out. This is where my teacher would tell you some kind of lengthy story so that you rest and let your body absorb the benefits while you're distracted by some lovely story. You just breathe here. Let the body assimilate what it just did. And imagine riding your tiger like that goddess Durga, where you're very supple and yet organized and strong in your core. Moving with that very alive creature, powerful. Powerful and flexible at the same time. Yeah. And we get to practice that element in our yoga. Inhale and exhale. And in classical yoga, you can pause after your movement for double the time that it took to do the pose. So in class, I'm trying to show you things to do and get our bodies moving, but in your home practice, it is so worthwhile to let yourself really just go with it when your body naturally pauses, and you don't even try to make anything of it. You just pause and breathe and trust that a lot of good things are happening while you relax. Yeah. Good. Let's draw the feet together. Let's inhale the hands up. I'm going to jump around the back first and then jump the hips over the traces like a horse over the traces. Come forward any amount. Let the hands rest by the shins or the knees. You can touch the toes, but it doesn't matter if you can. Your hands might just come to your thighs, whatever your landing pad is. You just breathe there. Hold forward, Paschimottanasana, west-facing pose. Sun warm at your back, relishing that daylight savings while we got it. And then we get to be like bears and hibernate when the fall comes, and that's nice too. Be a little cozy is always nice. Go to bed a little earlier. I love that about the time change when it goes into the autumn. Get a little extra sleep because the sun tells you when it's time. It's like going camping. You go to bed. There's no point in staying up too late. You just go to bed at 10. It's been dark forever. You can just enjoy and get some nice rest. Good. And draw the navel toward the spine. You come up to a seat here. Good. Let's take a little bit of a bridge pose. So let's come down to our backs. I'm going to find my way to the floor. Good. Rest with the feet on the floor, knees bent, and breathe just into the belly. So we're working on our supple spine this afternoon. And so what I'm going to do is press the feet into the floor, lift just the tailbone up. Yeah, and that means that you're drawing the sacrum, the low back, flush to the floor. It's sort of flat to the floor somewhat, but the hips are staying on the floor. So it's just the tailbone curled up, and then exhale, you let that release, and that natural curve in the low back reasserts itself. Good. Inhale. Take it again. Tailbone curls up. And you feel the The low back, just press to the floor. Sacrum flush to the floor. And you exhale that back to resting so that natural curve of the spine reasserts itself naturally. I met a piano teacher, who's doing a lot of sitting, and she said this exercise helped her the most with her back. Inhale, draw that tailbone, you curl it on off the floor. And exhaling, let that tailbone release back to the floor. Good, and now, next piece is draw the tailbone up. Let's before we do that, let's dial back for just a sec for our safety of our knees. So one idea is toes slightly in, heels slightly out, helps protect the knee joint as we start to rise into our bridge. So establishing just a subtlety in that regard, toes slightly in, heels slightly out. If you get a twinge in the knees, good, we're gonna lift the tailbone up. This time I'm gonna let the buttocks lift just slightly so that I could just barely slip a piece of paper under my bum. So that means the waist is still on the floor and we're resting the weight there. But the bum is slightly off the floor. Good, exhale, you roll it back down onto the floor. Exhale. Inhale, we'll take it again. Tailbone curls off the floor. And your bum is just barely hydroplaning, just barely there off the floor. And release it back down. Pause. Always feel free to pause in your yoga so that maybe in your life, in your rest of your day, you can have enough practice in your yoga that you go, oh, maybe I could pause before I wash the dishes and just take a zero moment. Yeah. Good. And then I'll pick it up again. So draw the tailbone up, lift the butt off the floor slightly. This time we take the weight onto the low rib cage. So this time the hips do come up slightly, but we're still kind of hovering fairly close to the ground. So this is a very dynamic bridge pose where we come up gradually like this, and it gets into all the nooks and crannies in a way that's different than in lots of classes. You just kind of rise up all at once. Here we do it gradually and go a little deeper. They're both good. They're just different ways to do it. Exhale, let yourself roll slowly back onto the floor. And taking it again, curl the tailbone up, inhale. Roll the spine slowly up until the weight rests onto the lower rib cage. Good, and roll it back down. Exhale. Lovely. Now this time, let's roll the spine up off the floor until the weight rests onto the shoulder blades, the flat of the shoulder blades. And the arms can be relaxed at your sides. And then like a bicycle chain, link by link, you come down one vertebrae at a time onto the mat with your back. And release. Taking it one more time. Tailbone, waist, all come off the floor. Rest the weight onto the shoulder blades. And when you're ready, letting that come down link by link, the bicycle chain slowly back onto the floor. And then if you wish, you can draw that back up to, let's roll on back up to our bridge pose. So tailbone lifts, the hips are up off the floor. Here, if you want, you can scooch the shoulders closer to each other and hold clasp the hands underneath the low back. Only if it feels very accessible do you do this. You can just come to the shoulder blades as we did before, and that is plenty. This is only if you want to. All of it's only if you want to. So here you've got hands clasped under the sacrum, under the low back, and just you're here opening the chest once again. Chin toward the chest once again, like we did in our oscillating sprinkler. We're just in a different position. Good. This is good for the thyroid, the parathyroid, our hormonal system. Good. And then we can unclasp the hands. And like a string of pearls, the spine just slowly rolls back down onto the floor, one motion. And breathe into your belly, let it go. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing any tension out of the low back by breathing into the belly. Pausing there for just a sec. And then breathing into the chest to release any tension out of the upper back. Good. And just trusting that your body is absorbing all the lovely benefits of all the poses we did today. And if you wish, you can stay here as long as you like. And take your Shavasana on your back if you want. And if you feel called to, you can also roll onto your side. And take a couple breaths there, doing nothing but breathing as we set up to just come on back to seated position. But in a minute, in a sec, no rush. Yes, and then we press with the strength of our arms into the hands, press into the earth as we roll on up to a seat. And just come to a comfortable seat, whatever that is. We can just take a brief meditation here if you like. If you have to go, feel free to go. We'll just be here for about 4 more minutes and just take ourselves full circle to a little meditation here. So just breathing in and allowing yourself to just get used to sitting up again. And we'll let the body breathe and accept all the wonderful benefits of these poses.
Go ahead and leave the message.
Pardon the technical moment. Good. Yeah, we just inhale and exhale here and revisit that image of that goddess riding the tiger, or you can ride whatever animal you like, if it's a horse or whatever appeals, and just reconnecting with that image of that integrity and strength in the core, and just sort of using the body to be in connection with that very alive creature as you move with the rhythm. Good. And also just imagining the bones, as my modern dance teacher would say. We talk a lot about the skeleton in modern dance, and there's this holiday at the moment, so we might as well talk about the skeleton. And we just imagine the bones being luminous here, sort of lit from within. Breathing into that, seeing it, imagining it, inventing it. A nice warm light from within, like candlelight. Just breathing into it, seeing it, and enjoying the light. And taking just a few rounds of breath there. Good. And then I'll just draw the hands away from myself on an inhale. Let the palms face up. Exhaling, palms together in front of the heart. And here, just letting the fingertips connect. There may even be some space between the palms, just slightly. And the thumbs are lined up and they're resting on the breastbone, on the sternum. Anjali Mudra, just breathing here. Very integrating for the right and left brain, a lovely thing to do whenever you need a moment to pause from what you're doing. Breathing there for a sec, just feeling how that feels. Letting yourself sigh or yawn if it comes up. Good, and then let's bow the forehead to the fingertips and seal the practice so that you have it with you all the rest of the day and all week. Lovely, and then the hands come back to the chest, palm to palm. And may we live like the lotus at home in the muddy waters. Thank you. That's class. Thank you for coming, everyone. I will come up to say ciao. If you want to lay in your Shavasana, I won't mind at all. So feel free to be quiet. And you can unmute yourself if you like, or you can we can just say ciao, and I hope you enjoy your afternoon and take care of yourself, drink water. Love you all. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Welcome.